narrative that if people know about, they know about the disappeared. Somewhere between 10 and 30,000 people disappeared in the span of 6 years in Argentina, and this play sort of meditates on that period of oppression and violence, and also, I think, ignorance among the population that allowed it to happen.
Yeah, so the piece itself is a promenade piece. It's split into 3 separate groups that are all headed by tour guides. So the groups will go throughout a building that is a building that we have on campus, essentially a homemade terror house, I'd say, and the tours go through and see different vignettes of various, sometimes true stories that have gone on during the time period.
The play does not take place in a theater like the one we're sitting in now, but rather in some sort of disused space, a warehouse, an abandoned house, some kind of building that you were lucky enough to find on campus here. And the audience is, upon arrival, separated from their theater-going friends and divided into groups, each group having been given a guide to take them through the space, which is to say, the scenes.
I feel like the guides are an interesting character in itself because it's the only reason, or the audience has to latch on to them because we're with them during the entire show, yet we play with the audience's trust, and we disprove ourselves sometimes and contradict ourselves, yet the audience still has to believe us in the end.
And Gambaro, the playwright of Information for Foreigners, has this whole thing about how could you deny the truth if it's right in front of you? And so that's sort of our job, is to convey, like, this is what's going on, and we're here to present that information, but also, again, with the trust. Like, you can't really trust us either, because it's, here's the truth, but it's also completely distorted throughout the entire show.
It's a devilishly difficult play to perform for the actors who are asked to do very difficult things, including act grotesquely. And grotesco, el grotesco, or the grotesque, is a legitimate genre of theater, especially in Argentina, also in Eastern Europe, with some different spins on it.
Difficult for because everyone plays, like, I don't know, 10 different characters, and so just having all of those characters to really focus on and try to hone is, like, it's probably really difficult to do.
I mean, I think to me there's two types of challenges. The first one being the actual acting challenge, especially since you're going into character and coming out instantly, going from place to place, and that's kind of, like, very demanding. But the other challenge is kind of like being true to the history behind the text in the play, and trying to represent it in the best way possible and the fairest way possible to the people who went through this. I mean, there's a lot of responsibility on us, and we want to make sure that, you know, it comes out in the best way it could.
She also, like, puts a lot of things in the script that are demanding for actors, like that you have to be, like, acting poorly or be marionettes, and it's like it's difficult to do that and do it well, you know what I mean? So
And that's been the really amazing part, is that this is unlike anything that the students have worked on, that the designers have ever worked on. Goodness knows it's different from anything I've ever worked on, in the sense that it is not only site-specific. We're doing this in 33 Gallows Lane, which is a former science museum that is almost empty now, but that you have these 3 tour groups going through the space at the same time. So you essentially have 3 plays happening at once for the duration of the hour and a half. So it's really been quite an amazing aesthetic and logistical challenge.
Like, I've gone to see shows in New York that have this sort of thing, where there's different rooms and you can choose your own path, or someone is taking you around, and that's always fascinated me. But to actually put it in action and to, like, maybe pursue this later in life, this sort of branch of theater, is really exciting.
I mean, this is the kind of show that actors who are on Broadway and things dream about doing a role like this because so few companies perform these kind of shows.
Like this show.
Yeah, exactly, this show in particular. It's just amazing that we have the opportunity to do this here on a college campus, and to be able to put that on your resume is incredible.
I feel that I've been able to watch things grow and contribute in a way. It's because it's been such a kind of collaborative rehearsal room that we've all been able to throw an idea into the pot. That's really exciting.
Have really learned a lot in terms of the process itself, the way that you talk to designers, the way that you handle a cast of so many people. That's really difficult. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity to have been able to observe.
What are the boundaries of the theater? Where's the stage? It's very uncertain. And it breaks all the rules we could easily enumerate of theater. And so there are, for all of the savagery and the cruelty in this play, it's also full of tribute. It's full of tribute to art and artists. It's full of tribute to women like Marina, who would give her own material, to Griselda, who withstood torture. It's a play that is that brings us down to really basic questions. What does it mean to stand in a room together? What does it mean to watch these actors, all of us together? What does it mean to watch each other watch this? Really, really important.